everyone. I'm Robin Hattersley from Campus Safety Magazine. Welcome to the show. Unreinforced windows are one of the most vulnerable parts of a campus or building, especially when active assailants strike. That's why it's critical for schools, universities, hospitals, and other facilities to harden their glass openings with security laminate film. Doing so not only mitigates the active shooter risk, it can also protect building occupants from flying debris during high wind events, as well as help conserve energy by keeping buildings warm in the winter and cool in the summer. But once your windows have been adequately protected, students, faculty, staff, and administrators need to be trained on how to appropriately respond to all types of emergencies. So, how can a campus combine its target hardening efforts with its safety and security training? One company that is helping campuses with both is Clear Armor. Clear Armor enhances the well-being of campus communities by hardening their buildings' two weakest points, their glass and their people. In my interview with Clear Armor CEO Dave Trudeau, he tells us about how his company installs security laminate film to protect windows, as well as offers training on critical topics like stop the bleed, situational awareness, self-protection, resilience, and more. Clear Armor is also sponsoring the 2021 Campus Safety Conference. So if you are attending, be sure to drop by their booth. So here's my interview with Dave Trudeau. So Dave, what is Clear Armor and what does your company do?
So Clear Armor is, let me start by explaining it this way. We harden the two weakest parts of your building. That is your glass and your people. So Clear Armor, we have patented material and process. It's a material that we put on your glass that is smash, burglar, bomb, cycling winds, microburst, and we can go to the next one, which would be riot control, and then we can go all the way up to stopping pistol rounds on your glass. We don't take your glass out. It's a material we can put on your glass. You can shoot out and they can't shoot in. So we have a cage code, we're sole source. Everything's made in America. And then on the other side of that, what we do in conjunction is true trauma is run by a medic from the SEAL teams. That's Doc Martin, Mario Martin. And when we go to do a school, let's just say, when a school does so many square feet, we give the training for free. And why is this so important? Because as a first responder, when somebody comes into a building of a shooting, I don't care if it's school or public, knowing that the people in that building are trained, could you imagine in a high school, if you had, or a junior high, if you had 1,000 students and you had 500 of them trained in mass casualty first aid? First, you're empowering those kids to save a life. And when an officer comes in, he has to go after the threat. So as he steps over people that are shot, and he knows he could stop and save their lives, he can't. He has to move forward. So in turn, doing that, when we do a school, he can now go to those students and say, we have a mass casualty first aid kit in every single classroom. They can now command the situation and tell the high school kids to pull the teacher in or another student into a room and do first aid on them. So he knows in his mind that that kid is being taken care of or that person is being taken care of. And now he can go after the actual threat and end it. So those two combined is what makes up Clear Armor. And it's what we're really trying to do. If you want a safer community, a safer campus, a safer school, a safer religious institution, I don't care what it is, you need a safer community. So when we do this training, we invite everybody in the community to come in and do this training. And what the training is it's situational awareness, empowerment, mindset training. So I could teach you how to fight, but if I don't prepare you to get in the ring with Mike Tyson, I failed you. So these guys that we have that do this training are operators, SEALs, Delta, Pararescue, Mountain Rangers, you name it. So these gentlemen can put you down on the floor and have you start working on somebody and be able to not only show you how to put on a tourniquet, but to tell you mentally what you're going to go through, how to keep from hyperventilating, how to keep out of tunnel vision, how to command a situation, how to talk to yourself while you're doing these things so that you stay breathing, how to control through breathing your adrenaline. So when you learn all of these things, you can then command a situation and take care of it and give that person that golden hour. Where somebody that just comes in and says, oh, this is how you put on a tourniquet, that's great. But when you have to use it, you're not mentally prepared. And you will always fall back to your level of training. You will never rise to the occasion. Okay. So in our med kits that we have patented, which I could grab one here in a minute, but we have Doc made a diagram that tells you where every single thing goes and how to check for it and what you need to do. So when we're training teachers and even high school kids, we'll take and train the kids and the teachers, and then we'll come back. And if they're not proficiently being taught, they'll forget all the stuff that has to be in or that has to be done that's in the bag. So when they pull it out and they get this card, if we give a bag to somebody that has a card and somebody doesn't have a bag, the people that have the card have the situation under control with under 3 minutes. These people are still struggling, trying to figure out how everything goes and where it goes. So the card was a huge thing for people that are not proficiently trained on the life skills training on the mass casualty. But it could be, and it's not just for a gunshot, it could be some kid breaks his leg, arm, pokes his eye out. It could be anything. So that's what we're trying to do is empower students, teachers to take control of the situation that they're in. And more than that, to take control of it before it even gets there. So I could walk around a school and find doors that are open all the time. Teachers prop them open. And I tell those teachers when we're in a meeting, I want them to go home that night. And before they go to bed, I want you to leave the door open and go to bed. And they say, why? Why are you leaving this door? You never know when somebody's going to come by that door and come in and harm a kid, you, running from the police. It doesn't matter what it is. So we try to make everything we do. It's really comes down to common sense. And why should you do these things? So I hope that answered it for you.
Thanks, Dave. Anything else you'd like to add about cleared armor?
We are working with a school district right now that is being looked at by the federal government for a across the board a national thing that every school is going to do. And we're a part of that. So that's exciting. And like I said, on flat glass, we're the only company in the world that can stop an AK-47 on 1/2 inch to 5/8 glass. I proved all my patents at Fort Bragg. We are a sole source, like I said. And on your regular glass, your 1/4 inch glass on your building, we can actually stop rounds on it. And here's the other thing. When it comes to children and first responders, we do not charge any wastage. None. You get a cutoff sheet at the end of every single thing that we do. So if you say if your school has 10,000 square feet and we show up and you only have 9,100 or 9,900, that's what you pay for. So you get a cutoff sheet, because what we want you to do is we want you to go as far as you can with the money that you have to keep those kids safe. Our number one goal is to keep people safe. And you don't have to go 50 feet in the air. I tell people top of the door strike and under, or the top of the first break of glass and under, line of sight, easy access. I go to schools where companies do 50 feet in the air. Who's going to get a ladder and climb into your building? No one. Now, if you're training, or if you're doing it for tornadoes, that's a whole different subject. But I'll tell you, every single school I've ever done is to keep the intruder out and to give safe rooms inside the schools. So once we do the perimeter of the school on the first floor, line of sight, easy access, then we start doing inside by every entrance, as many classrooms as we can do with your money. And then every staircase where you go up, every classroom that you can do around the staircases, because these people are coming in to try to do as much harm as they can, as fast as they can. And if they come up to a piece of glass, whether they shoot it, hit it, or whatever, and it doesn't do what they think they did, you just broke their attack cycle. And an attack cycle is a one thought process. They already have it planned out what they're going to do. And every time you interrupt that, you get the upper hand. But when you get the upper hand, whether it's 5 seconds or 15 minutes, people inside need to know what to do. And that's why the training is just as important as the glass that we put on the building to protect the people.
Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you.
.762 by 39 ball round. Ready?
Yep.